I've got to lock in with my gamer mints.
You got respawn mints?
I got gamer respawn mints. I'm locking in.
My immediate thought when you sheepishly were putting one in your mouth and then drinking some Mountain Dew, I was like, what's he taking?
SpongeBob, Johnny Bravo kicking by the beach bar. DJ making.
It's supposed to be helping me focus on. I need that desperately. So.
Mints.
Yeah,
it's in these gamer mints.
It's got crap in them. I think the thing that's supposed to help is L-theanine. It's also got vitamins B5 and B12, and I'm B12 deficient, so.
What's up, guys? What's up, my fellow B12 deficient viewers?
What's up, you guys? We're all vitamin deficient out here. You know,
we ain't got no vitamins.
Us gamers, us Nickelodeon fans, we never go outside.
Dude, so to start this off with a story, my brother runs a business that produces food, and he sent me a message earlier in the week being like, hey, can you help out for a Hollywood shift? And I help out every now and again.
What's a Hollywood
when they really
shift?
need it, when they're out down people, because my brother is away. That's why I asked. I was like, well, what's a Hollywood shift? And it's like, oh, just a shift with lots of praise and appreciation because we're down on so few people. I later learnt the real reason of why he called it a Hollywood shift, which is he was being audited.
Oh.
And so they were putting on a super over the top, all of the precautions, all of the safety, all of everything
just being super fake.
They're just doing everything they're supposed to all at once.
Right, exactly. Being fake.
And we're doing it really slowly. So it's like a full performative version of it. But yeah, so I did a shift there, and it was a reasonably long day, but 2 hours before it finished, when the shift had been going for 6 hours, there was a moment in me where I was thinking my hands were hurting really badly, all of me was hurting, and I was just like, I don't think I'm built for menial labor.
Right, I've had the same, I'm looking for a job right now. And I'm really looking for remote work that I can just do from here at my computer. I already struggled with the 8-hour shifts in general, because here in America, we have to stand all day, no matter what we're doing. It's
most of my background is in the food industry in some capacity. I've worked as a barista, I've worked in kitchens, most of my family has. And I can handle that stuff fine. Factory work is a whole other thing. Even when it's a Hollywood shift where I'm just there to help my brother. It's still a whole thing of this is
definitely a whole other thing.
Awful.
It's at least that you don't have to interact with people.
Well, all the people that work there are lovely. All the people that do work there are
customers,
so that's
that kind of thing.
Oh, that is 100% true. I always feel bad when they're walking around with the people that are the officials, and I can tell my brother's just he's putting on his best, but it's this is the worst. But
real quick,
they passed.
Before we. Oh yeah,
they passed the audit. They were fine.
It was because you were there.
Yeah, I said today was oh, they just want pretty faces there. I'm just pure sex appeal. That's the reason I'm there.
Exactly. That's why you're on the show. Actually, you asked me to do this, but let's be real. The real reason you're here, because I could do this whole thing without you.
Yeah,
I'm really the whole crux of the show.
The amount of times that we argue on some Nickelodeon fact, and I'm entirely incorrect, or both of us completely agree on something, and then the comments are no, that's not what happened. And they're
yeah, I was gonna say,
that happens every episode. Where we're just no, 100%. Squidward's nose fell off in this episode. 100%. We both agree. Okay, moving on. Didn't happen.
So, real quick before we get into this, I just want to address real quick. Hopefully Riverside doesn't crash this time, you guys. We lost a whole episode. We have a lost episode now. Maybe someday.
And it was a good episode too.
Yeah, it was. And maybe someday we'll bring back the topic and call it the lost episode or something. But for now, it's gone. You'll never see it. Chester, did you have a chance to look at the video I sent you earlier with the final Dice of Destiny character? How do you feel about
first topic, Dice of Destiny?
How do you feel about the final character specifically before you address
I'm very happy about the final character. The other characters now are made all the more confusing because you have SpongeBob SquarePants, Timmy Turner, Danny Phantom, and Jimmy Neutron. Fantastic, amazing.
Yeah.
You've got Sandy, you've got Susie, you've got
Cora, I still don't
Cora.
fully understand. I
Katara.
don't remember if we've talked about it on the show. I don't fully understand why Susie is the Rugrats rep. I guess because she's the older kid, but who cares? She's still a kid. You could have made it Tommy or Chucky.
Or if you want the older kid, you know, Angelica, who is the most iconic character.
She's in the game.
of Rugrats.
She's in the game. She's a boss. She's like a villain that you have to fight.
Ah, okay, cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, there's a Nicktoons game.
Maybe they wanted more female representation. They could have done Kimmy.
Come on.
Pissed everyone off.
Why would that piss people off? What the f are you saying?
Because every time we talk about Rugrats, they're all grown up. People talk about how much they hated Kimmy. Kimmy ruined the show. Do you read our comments?
No!
I do.
Rarely.
People hate Kimmy. Me and you are like the only Kimmy lovers I know. What are you doing? I think
I feel like we need to have a meeting or something. Like a stern word or something to the community.
We need to have a full community meeting.
Everyone, get in the call. Stop this slander. How are we going to get review copies if you guys keep making fun of Kimmy?
Yeah, so it's a weird line. You also Leonardo and XJ9. I believe those are the two that we didn't mention. It's a weird lineup. You don't go on Twitter anymore. I was on there earlier today after the announcement, and my entire feed was just people freaking out about how the 4 original Nicktoons game characters are together again, and even Game Mill know what they're doing, because if you catch the end of the trailer, they did you watch the end of
Shall we watch it together?
Yeah,
I've only watched the first.
Let's look at the Jimmy Neutron reveal trailer.
For listeners, we are just watching the Game Mill Entertainment trailer. You can hop over if you're on Spotify. There should be the video feed if you want to see this. Otherwise, we'll kind of describe things as it goes.
Here we go.
Gamers, let's game.
Oh, it's loud.
Neutron, ready for another challenge.
There you go. Definitely
Okay,
not
so
from
he has a
cereal
gun. He has a gun and
He has a
sword.
laser tag gun and a laser sword. He is Star Wars. What?
Oh!
Why?
That's the sword from King of Mars.
Haven't seen it.
They are bussin'. Bussin'. For real. Oh my god. That's the sword that's the sword he beat up used to stretch with.
You're speaking another language right now, but I believe you.
Oh, and it's also in the Macbeth episode.
He's also kind of in like a fairy world.
Yeah, I
cool.
don't know. I literally have never watched really any of My Fairly Odd Parents because
I haven't either. I just think the environment looks nice.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Nicktoons Unite.
It's good. Got it.
Goddard also functions as a toaster.
How's this? Baseball launch turret. Oh,
Tested on Sheen twice.
Elements in there. Tested on Sheen twice. Test tube turret. Okay, so you have multiple turrets. So he's like that goblin-y guy from Overwatch.
Yeah, he's the techie character basically. He makes the game. He turns the game into tower defense.
Oh. Ultra punch turret. I'm just gonna turn it down a bit. It's very loud in my ears.
I was gonna say we can just like even mute it. Well,
Yeah,
no,
we probably
can't
don't
mute it.
need.
We
probably
actually
don't need
can't-
the blah music.
Don't mute it because this part's important. This part's important. So listen to this part.
Okay.
Hey, you seem mighty familiar. Do I know you from somewhere?
I don't see how, but I feel like we've met before too. You too. And you!
I feel the same. Have you haunted any houses near me?
I'm not that kind of ghost.
Interesting. I'm experiencing high levels of dopaminergic action just looking at the three of you.
I don't know. I thought that was cool, man. Like they
Well-
know what they're doing.
I had this thought while I was getting ready this morning after you sent it to me. And I was like, dude, what the f? we are getting a new Nicktoons game in the year 2025. We don't talk about that fact enough. That just
Well, it's because it's like
mind-boggling fact.
it's a game mill game. That's why we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah,
but,
but
yeah.
I was thinking about this last night as well. I feel like Game Mill, we're going to look back at Game Mill and this type of stuff the same way we look back about THQ. Game Mill is just the modern day THQ. The amount of slop the THQ
Maybe,
released.
yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe, yeah. I think
The racing games, and then this type of stuff as well, and then
I think THQ had more highlights
vintage games
for
they've been
sure.
doing. I think so as well, but we're looking at it from the perspective of adults, like a child looking at
sure.
the Nickelodeon kart races or the fighting games. Probably is considering those fairly peak.
Yeah, there
At least
are
the
a
second
lot of
one,
people
where they've
that
got
like
voice actors.
the fighting and the racing games. You and I are not fans,
No,
but I am.
I wasted $50 on that first racing game with no voice
Yeah.
acting.
We talked about that. I bought it for like $5 or something on sale,
Hmm.
and even then I regret it because it wasn't very good. Over the course of the time that they announced this at the Game Awards, we were fairly excited. We did a whole episode about it, and then we were kind of talking about what we thought it would be, what we thought the characters would be, and then they started announcing characters, and we were like, "Oh, we don't care." But now finally, I feel like especially the last 3 character reveals, maybe even 4 if you count like Susie, because even though Susie is not the
getting
pick I
some
would have
Susie
picked.
representation, some Rugrats representation is really cool, and Danny Phantom is great. Literally, we've gotten all the characters that we guessed were in that front covery like thing, more or less. Like we got Danny Phantom, even though
Ish.
at the front it's got like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles instead. Oh, except for Chucky.
Right.
We thought it was Chucky.
We talked
was
about
the
Chucky
big guy.
or maybe Carl or something, but we've got representation from I would say all the franchises that you and I care about, even if it's not necessarily the representation we would have chosen. Like,
There's also potential, if it does well enough for
Yeah.
But no, honestly though, we say this every time. Game Mill never does DLC or expansions or stuff, really.
yeah.
So, we always say it's like, oh, they could do DLC extra characters for this. They never ever do it. So there's no point saying they might do DLC Carl or something.
Were they involved in All Stars Brawl, or was that a different company?
Were they All Stars Brawl 1, 2? I think they were All Stars. Yeah, and it's the same company making this game as what's making.
Because I believe
the developments.
technically they did add characters over time. I think maybe they
Did
maybe
with
they
All
were just
Stars Brawl
revealing
2?
characters before launch. What was that?
I with All Star Brawls 2, because I wasn't really on YouTube documenting.
I don't know.
anything
I
at
just
the time.
remember. I feel like I remember. There's a guy that I watch, Papa Gino's, who was really known for his Smash Bros. Content, but after Smash Bros. Was over, he started kind of covering the Smash Bros. Knockoffs with that Multiversus game and All Stars
No,
Brawl,
they did,
and
yeah.
he kind of did character speculation content for those games.
It looks like they did some skins. They did Mr. Krabs, Zuko, Rocksteady, and Ira. DLC
It's
is an
always
option.
possible.
possible.
Maybe not a whole lot. Maybe not characters we care about.
Oh my
The potential
god, they
is there.
add Uncle Ira to.
Oh
to
boy,
Nicktoons Dice of Destiny.
Rocksteady. I mean, I guess
Oh my-
TMNT fans would be happy about Rocksteady.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans can go jump off a bridge. I don't give a f***. They can all piss off. I'm tired of them. Same with
I like
Garfield
T-
fans.
I don't hate either Garfield or TMNT, but I don't personally.
I
feel
want them
that
in my
they are-
games.
They're not Nicktoons.
Get their own games.
Apparently, I heard the other day. I saw a Facebook reel or something about this. Apparently, Phineas and Ferb was originally pitched to Nickelodeon twice and denied both times. And then Disney apparently denied it once as well, but then they finally picked it up. So there's a world where Phineas and Ferb was a Nicktoon, which would be
I wonder
weird.
if it was because it does have some similarities to Jimmy Neutron in just its episode to episode kind of
Maybe a little. Yeah.
like the inventing stuff. Maybe they were like, we've got enough of this already. Depends on when they were.
It's also just I don't feel like they do a lot of cartoons.
Was
At least not a
Sima
lot of movies.
Zagami the CEO at the time? Because then that makes sense.
Probably, because that would have been early 2000s that they would have been
Yeah.
pitching it. So yeah, it probably would have
Yeah.
been her. Yeah. So there's a world where Phineas and Ferb were in this game.
Thanks, Sima. We've got
something
the
else on it.
gameplay. We've got a gameplay reveal trailer for the game, and also the villains trailer. If we want to have a little look at that, and then I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so ridiculous.
I've seen most of those, but we can look at them because I don't think you've seen any of that. So
No, I haven't
let's-
seen any of the trailers really.
I've been keeping up.
So, guys, this is the trailer for the villains, I think. The Flame Fatale reveal.
This is some of the villains, not all the villains.
Some of the villains.
It's a,
Azula. Whoa! Hello, victims of utter multidimensional chaos. My name
Who's
I mean,
that?
obviously, you don't know who that is.
No.
That's, first of all, it's funny that it's Tara Strong because she's talking to Timmy Turner. But that is Ember from Danny Phantom, one of the most popular villains from Danny Phantom. But it kind of creeps me out because there's a whole... I have another Turkey Tom documentary that you should watch if you want to learn about Ember. There's a whole... There's a dude who got obsessed with this character to the point where he did a
You Americans.
it's hard to explain. Basically, he believed she was real, and all he had to do was to get to her, but he wanted to take with him, so he did. And it is a bizarre and disturbing story, and you should go watch it. So every time I look at this character now, that's all I can think about.
So what's Nickelodeon communicating by using this character?
I doubt they even
acknowledging
know
it?
about that whole situation, to be honest with you. It's
That's
very
reasonable. That's reasonable.
I feel like it's a niche scenario because I never heard about it until Tom made a video about it. So it's kind of like the story that I brought up in the Lost episode about the Slenderman girls and
Yes,
how they
very
did
true.
that,
Yes,
so.
we should keep referring back to that episode without ever really expanding on it.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
it's like in jokes without you guys. You said this was who strong? Tara Strong? Is that
It sounds like
Stills?
Tara
What's
Strong.
that?
That sounds like her speaking. I don't actually know.
Hello, victims of utter multidimensional
Am I crazy?
chaos.
Hold on, let me look
Sounds
up.
like
Ember.
it.
My name is Ember, and I am Azula, princess of the
Whatever the
fire
heck that
and
is.
daughter of Fire Lord
Is that Tara Strong as well?
Oh, sorry, I'm late.
Hold on.
Fire Nation and daughter of Fire Lord Over here! Oh, sorry I'm late. I'm Angelica Pickles, and we are Flame Patel! So you better watch out! Can it, Pipsqueak? Yeah. Save the threatening for the ones who can back it up. Here comes!
Yeah,
So,
so
there's,
Ember is
there's a
Tara
toddler
Strong.
running around with two
What's the name of that Avatar villain?
Azula. They look like pretty standard.
Oh no, Azula is Grey Delisle, who sounds similar to Tara Strong, so that makes sense.
And then we've just got a basic, last little thing is just a basic gameplay trailer they revealed just the same time that they did the Danny Phantom reveal as well, so this won't...
Yeah, it was just
contain
more like
Neutron
an
or anything.
in-depth dive into what the gameplay will look like.
I'm really interested still to see how they kind of add in the D&D elements to this, because they're going pretty hard with that, at least in the visual sense.
Right, and I wonder if it will be just more of a visual thing. The interactions don't sound so much like they're sitting around a table talking to each other as they're actually on some kind of medieval quest.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What's cool though is then you've got that, like, if we're considering it with the other Nicktoons games and putting it in connection with those ones, it's kind of cool the development of the theme. You kind of have a different theme and feel for each of the games. You have the first one, which is almost kind of, it's the interdimensional jumping and all that, and the second one is the island, and it's more like this tropical kind of feel. And the third one, which I believe is Toybots. Is Toybots the third one?
Yes. Yeah.
Toybots, which is all like the mechanical, a bit more sci-fi kind of thing, and then Globs of Doom, which is like a vintage B-movie kind of comedic horror thing, and then this one you've got the more medieval stuff. Like, it's a cool continuation. Like, each of them has a different feel and style, and I like that.
I guess the more that I think of, it's been a long time since I've played Nicktoons Unite. The gameplay loop is kind of similar to this.
It's not too different.
About it.
It's a very,
Yeah.
it's just a very shallow beat 'em up with some minor platforming.
Yeah,
It's a very
so
basic
there's
platforming.
not really platforming, but it's kind of in the same style. I mean, it's 2D, well, the environments are 3D, but... And the environments
Well,
look better,
yeah.
I would say, than that initial reveal trailer, at least what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. And the way they've captured this footage, it's almost like they've got bad VSync or something on. Like, there's a lot of clipping going on in the
I thought that was
motion,
just our
which I'm-
connection.
No, it's happening on my side. Like there's like some weird motion stuff going on, so I don't think they've captured it amazingly either. But this just looks like to me, and I'm happy about this. I don't know about you.
Sponge.
Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah, we
like
talked about that
Gimple.
in the original.
I love Minecraft Dungeons,
reveal.
so I'm really keen. Gameplay.
It's definitely in that
wise.
Diablo, Minecraft Dungeons style of gameplay for sure.
Here's my big question. Here's my big question for you, Mr. Hasbin Hot Normal. Who are you maining?
That was actually something they asked on Twitter as well. I don't know. Part of it will be like how they play.
Yep.
My gut says either Danny or SpongeBob, maybe
That's good.
Jenny, but
That's good. Because I'm playing Jimmy Neutron.
yeah, yeah.
So I love the like building tower stuff and
Yeah.
like the sentry type things in these games.
What if you had to pick like a second one?
A second one? Oh, I like a lot of passive abilities and stuff like that, like area of effect stuff and those types of things. So then I'd probably I despise Timmy Turner's voice. So even if he had amazing stuff like that, I just would not play as him.
Who did you main? Well, did you play Overwatch?
I played Overwatch for a little bit. Back at the
did you main?
very, very early days, I mained Tracer, and if I had to, I would then play as Mercy, because no one would play as a healer. So I would do Mercy or Tracer.
I usually main healer.
This was
but
literally like the first 6 months of the game. Like this was
was her
pre-establishing any metas or
name?
anything.
I can't even remember the character's name, but there's another healer that has these balls, and one does damage and one heals.
Oh, is that
Like
the robot?
these rays.
The-
No, I can't think of her name. It's a girl, but she has these rays that come out of her hands, and she can also shoot balls of energy. And that was my character. So yeah, I mean overall, I'm feeling a lot more intrigued about this game, a lot more interested in playing it now that we've
I'm feeling
got...
a light to strong 7.
Yeah, maybe it's still a 6 from me, whereas before it was like a 3. I don't know.
No, it definitely. So literally, yeah. As we were saying, day one announcement, it was at like an 8 for me. I was really excited. Then the characters started revealing, and it dropped to like a 2. I was like, I'm not even sure if I'm going to play this. But now with the new ones, they obviously waited and saved the best ones till last. My interest, and because I love the genre, I love that type of game, and I'm just so beyond excited.
And they knew what they were doing.
It has
saving...
gone back up to that 7 or 8 stage.
Yeah, and they know what they were doing, saving Jimmy Neutron for last, because yesterday they posted saying, "Oh, our last character reveals tomorrow. Who do you think it is?" Literally every single comment that I saw, except for maybe like 2, was just GIFs of Jimmy Neutron. And then there was like one person that said they wanted Donatello, and then another person that I don't even remember what it was. Something obscure. It was like obviously.
Some people don't deserve skin.
You know, I was really
Skinned
holding out
alive.
for Garfield personally, but you can't win them all.
Yeah, he just show up, do his famous slogan, "Where's
I hate
the beats
Mondays."
at? Bring the beats in, Madonna," and then everyone would lose their minds, and people would buy the game.
Comes in and
People love
says,
Garfield for that.
"Oh, I hate Mondays." Nickelodeon is going hard on games this year, and like they're not necessarily like huge games, but we got Dice of Destiny, we got the new Titans of the Tide, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But also, Limited Run Games just revealed a brand new compilation of old school SNES/Genesis Nickelodeon games, which are certainly before our time. I didn't even know these games existed. But the mere existence of this collection is very weird and out of left field, and I think it's worth mentioning.
Let me pull that up as well. Yeah, so the Splat Pack, it is
Splat Pack.
honestly insane. I do not understand.
I wish they would have
why-
called it like Splat Pack Volume 1, because then we would know for sure that there's going to be more.
Firstly, this is our best sign so far of the possibility of getting a collection of older PS2 games or anything like that. As you were saying, I don't understand what has changed. Perhaps it's, Cosmic Shake and Rehydrated did really well for the tiny budgets that they had. And I think it's that we've talked about so many times of Nickelodeon had the model down pat perfectly in the early 2000s with THQ, and it's
they
a
were
model
pumping stuff out back
that
then.
it's a model that can work so perfectly now. The gaming industry is so profoundly broken with this concept that every game needs to cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, and if it's not the biggest thing in the world, it's a failure and the studio gets shut down. We need to go back to that AA realm of a game costing tens of millions to make so that it can sell all right and be a success. It doesn't need to be like a world-burning success. And I think that's what Cosmic Shake was and Rehydrated Relief was. Like, they were cheaply made games that sold well enough to justify doing two more, doing like all that.
Right, and I think maybe that's why they are pumping out games this year, is because, I mean, Titans of the Tide is probably the most expensive thing out of the bunch. Realistically, I seriously doubt Dice of Destiny cost them that much to make. Probably like 2-3 million max, I would expect.
I'm sure they have some type of bulk deal with Game Mill at this stage where it's like, we will, like, they're doing bulk things of like 3 games this much cheaper, the consistent teams that will employ for this long, so give it to us for like this much cheaper than it typically would cost. Like, they would have those types of deals in place.
It's certainly possible. And also this, we talked about the Rugrats Adventures in Gameland a few episodes ago. This feels kind of it's not a new game, but it's by Limited Run Games, which were also heavily involved in the Rugrats game. It feels like an easy win for them, I guess. Like, they can just pump out these, what are essentially ROMs as a collection. I worry that we won't get what we want because these are like really old school. Like, it feels like they're, and the Rugrats game was also very old school. Like, it feels like they're targeting more of the older crowd with the games that they're doing, but it still plants in my head that it's possible to get that collection of like, even Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, I would say, is probably not off the table because
no, I don't think so either.
I mean, look at this. Like,
I think this is a testing of the waters type of thing. Like, I think the next step would be getting a bunch of the old like GameCube Advance games remade, like the Hey Arnold movie game, some of the old SpongeBob ones, some of the old Jimmy Neutron ones. That type of thing is the next, I think, step.
I would hope so.
Because they're ROMs. It's still ROMs.
These are very obscure. And my fear is just that they're doing the stuff that they want to do, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah. I've never heard of these games.
Me neither.
Let's look at the trailer for this. Mighty Rabbit. So yeah, they're targeting 90s kids with this, obviously. Got a Rocco game.
I didn't even know there was a Rocco's Mod Life
Something
game.
called Guts, which I've never heard of, but apparently Zach watched Guts growing up. And All Real Monsters.
It's got the basic kind of emulator. It lets you actually save and rewind stuff because these games
and it's got a CRT filter.
Hard.
It's got a CRT filter over it.
Splat Pack is such a good name, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's why I feel like, you could do like Splat Pack Volume 1, Splat Pack Volume 2, Splat Pack Volume 3. I'm not saying that's what they will do, but I feel like it's the kind of name that lends itself to that.
Or, Splat Pack Advanced for the Game Boy Advance. Splat Pack, like that type of thing. Is it available through like EB Games and stuff? And
not yet that I know of.
Yesterday.
I don't know. Look it up. As far as I know, it's opening pre-orders with limited run. I haven't seen anything about getting a retail release yet.
Oh my god, there's a new Garfield kart racer.
You didn't know about that? Garfield Kart 2.
God.
Even though there's already been 2 Garfield Karts before, now they're doing the second one, which is actually the third one.
Typical Garfield move. He's so zany like that.
Pladley, friend of the show, did the whole Garfield arc on his channel, and he played the Garfield Kart game. Like, that was a big episode of that ARG that he did. And it is the worst thing I've ever seen, and the new one does not look any better. So.
Didn't Donkey do a video on this one?
Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. But yeah, okay, so that's really interesting. Yeah, it's a model that I think really works and has most opportunity for working for them.
Honestly, I've been begging for them to just give us original games on Switch or modern platforms, and they're at least doing it with these weird, obscure SNES games, so there's the potential for them to move forward and do PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. And obviously that's the dream. Let's get an old school SpongeBob collection with like Super Sponge and Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and
Please.
I can't think of like another like older one.
said
Legend
Revenge
of
of
the
the
Lost
Flying
Spatula. I don't really want that, but I'm trying to think like more like early 2000s, late 90s, that kind of thing. Let's get a PC collection with the mouse controls on Switch 2. Have you used the mouse controls on Switch 2?
No, I don't need to. Cringe.
I'm just saying it's pretty. It's a good idea. I mean, the potential is there. Because they're
potential's
not going to
everywhere,
do it with a normal controller.
No, let me play it on PC.
But okay, yes,
Normal
also on PC. But I'm saying like, do it on PC and Switch 2.
Yes, you could do it on Switch, yes. We have so much gaming news.
Yeah.
So much gaming news. We are sick with news.
Also, we have news that that's been out for like
4 weeks.
like a month, and we haven't talked about it.
Guys, there's a new SpongeBob game coming out. It's called Titans of the Tide. We're late
at
to the party.
Gamescom, they revealed gameplay. I think everyone else in our circle has reacted to it, done videos about it.
So you've seen this gameplay, haven't you?
I don't think I watched the full thing, but I watched a good chunk of it, and
We probably won't watch the full thing either because it's half an hour. But
yeah, I was very impressed with what I saw. So, and we can jump around maybe a little bit.
yeah, we will. So this is Gamescom footage, and this is from a YouTuber called Gamers Prey. Oh, look at those textures. That is such a different art style to Rehydrated.
Yeah,
Like visually, it's so they've really nailed in on their own like
the
style
lighting
for these
especially.
games.
Like,
I don't want to see too much
Real
of this.
quick-
This is going
real
to
quick
spoil
pause
shit
it.
for me.
real
Yeah.
quick, pause it. This is really this is literally the opening of the game. So if you don't want to see the opening of the game,
Yeah, I'm going to
We'll
skip
have to
through. I
skip
don't want to see
forward.
too much of it.
that was one of my biggest problems with Rehydrated. Was it just looked like it had that Unreal Engine look to it.
It looked like someone had, through squinted eyes, had watched someone else play the Spyro Reignited trilogy and the Crash remakes, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I could apply that Instagram filter to SpongeBob." Ooh, look at that animate! Look at that slap animation.
Yeah, they've
There's
changed the way his
there's
attack
a
works.
Slap. That's a real full-handed, just whoosh. Damn, he's got them meaty grippers.
That's what she said.
Ooh, that's cool. So you hit little objects to actually trigger different movements of the level as well. I don't think we had anything like that in.
You click levers.
Do we have? I don't think we had that in Cosmic Shake.
like buttons?
Buttons.
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's just that's very Creature from the Krusty Krab. You had to do that a lot of like just slapping the shit out.
I think there was a
levery
lot of
things.
that in like the original Heavy Iron games as well.
Wow, why is Squidward's voice so deep?
All of the voices are so off, and that's another reason why I was so put off by Cosmic Shake at first. It did not sound like SpongeBob. It's the same problem here, where it's like it almost sounds like it's a stand-in actor, but it is the actor. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, Mr.
Maybe there's some
Mr.
slowdown.
I
that's
think this might
causing-
be a bad capture or something. Now I'm going to skip ahead, skip another one of the cutscenes. So into our first little... I think this will be our probably opening level, obviously.
Well, I can explain. I could explain what this is, but I don't know if you want me to.
No. I'm just looking at the game.
I mean,
I'm
this is
looking at the-
Bikini Bottom. This is the opening of the game, basically.
Yeah.
This is teaching you different mechanics and stuff.
There's a level of... Sorry, I'm just watching Patrick move around the map. It's so much more smooth and kind of bouncy and elastic in the movements. Like when he jumps, he like stretches a little bit, and when he lands, he squishes back down. It adds
fluid.
a lot of like fluidity and kind of bounciness to the gameplay, which is really cool.
Whereas he's not just a bulky character that throws stuff.
Yeah. And then going from the like peak of a jump into a glide, there's no like animation kind of hitch or anything like that. It's complete like
I think that,
smooth.
you know, we looked at those files and everything. They were very much about making this game. I think the whole idea of what they wanted to do with this game was make the movement very fluid between both SpongeBob and Patrick. Like, that was kind of their goal, is they wanted to really go hard on the platforming.
Yeah, which is cool because the Cosmic Shake went really hard on the combat, and I really liked that. I thought that was really fun, but there was no platforming in that game that stands up to like the dream sequence in Battle for Bikini Bottom or the puzzle stuff in the movie game. Like, there was nothing that was like, this is the platforming level type of thing. It was very minimal.
I wish they would do more stuff like the floating block challenge, but I don't think they...
Oh my god, he's come here from Luigi's Mansion.
I was about to say Zach is thrilled right now because it's very Luigi's Mansion right over here. Just their designs and everything. I like it. Fred is having a aneurysm over there. Yeah, there's definitely some slowdown with this footage.
Let me try different gameplay.
Because I don't remember it being like that. So they're still kind of doing that. They're still kind of doing the heavy iron thing of like introducing new enemies as you go, which I appreciate. They're kind of like
always
sticking to the roots.
It feels like an actual... I know this is dumb to say, but it feels like the difference of like a console generation.
Yeah. Oh, well, it does. It really
quality.
does.
It feels like the difference between a PlayStation 4 game and a PlayStation 5 game.
It definitely does.
We've never had
I thought that from the
days.
intro. Like, when you see that like segment where they're like platforming through Atlantis, like that huge set, it's like that never would have been in Cosmic Shake.
No.
This game seems so much more expansive.
And it feels like, once again, we're talking about that, those smaller budget game experiences. What's kind of cool about this is...
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, sorry, let me... I'll pause it. You've got the...
I mean, really, we could probably mute it as we watch through this, because if you don't want story information, then there's no reason to...
So, what I think is cool about the whole idea of, these smaller budget games is it allows for this generative expansion from game to game, because when you're dealing with a smaller budget, you can only really expand on one thing at a time. So from Rehydrated was the first venture. That was the first big kind of bit of money. Then they've got enough time and enough money to expand on one thing. So they do the combat. They make the combat really crazy in the second one. Now they're doing the visuals and the motion for the third one. Like, it allows for that iterative expansion each time.
It looked like it's night and day compared to Rehydrated.
Rather than
at even these character animations, like
rather than Cosmic Shake needing to be the biggest thing in the world, it allowed it to be just another stepping stone.
It was their first attempt at it, and now they're like perfecting it. Yeah, and presumably there would maybe be another one, and I'd be curious to see where that goes from there.
I will also say, like, my favorite level in Cosmic Shake was Halloween Rock Bottom. So to get more stuff like that in this would be crazy cool.
That's what I was about to say. Is I've already seen some of it, and like I love the ghost theming of this game. I love the spookiness, and I wish we were getting it before Halloween, but we are not.
When's it coming out again? Is it November?
November.
Still got the throwing stuff. I like how the throwing is
Cosmic Shake have loading screens that look like title cards, like later or whatever?
Yes, I believe so. But it was it was such an efficient little game that it barely had loading screens.
I noticed that in this is that they show title cards at points.
The main ones that it had were the little falling.
Okay, so he is still throwing stuff. Did he throw stuff? Well, no, you couldn't play as him in Cosmic Shake, so you are still throwing. Like in,
it's so much quicker.
Battle for Bikini. Yeah, obviously. And they still got the bouncy things from Battle for Bikini Bottom. It feels a little bit more Battle for Bikini Bottom than Cosmic Shake did, to be honest with you.
It does. Yeah, Cosmic Shake was very, very...
felt more Creature from the Krusty Krab.
Yeah, very much. All combat focused, zany levels, focus on kind of bosses and different kind of gameplay segments within that.
Not nearly as much platforming. Yeah, like you said.
Really.
I mean, there was really platforming, but like not any like super interesting mechanics as far as the platforming went.
Platforming wise, it was quite
this
limited.
guy can't figure out what he's supposed to do with this rock. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do with this rock. What's he doing?
Yeah, what is he supposed to do? Oh, there's a
maybe
the coins in the ground. Oh, Oh, it's so you have to dig into the dirt to get those coins. I thought it was a glitch.
Oh no, I could tell that they were like burrowed in the ground. Yeah. Oh, and then what's this? Okay, it's just more. I was wondering if it was gonna be like the movie game where there's like unlockables hidden in chests or whatever.
Oh, you can jump with them.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that before, could you?
Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Sorry, we've both gotten engrossed in the gameplay.
When I watched this footage, I was also like, I had just woken up, so I don't remember any of this, and I think I skipped forward, probably. But I'm very intrigued and even more excited than I already was, because like this is.
Did you see his barrel got broken by the ghost's like projectile? They hit in mid-air.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's so fun.
And this is something that I think Zach pointed out to the group chat, but like the only tikis that exist at this point are the wooden tikis. There's no thunder tiki or flying tiki. They've all been replaced with other objects like the exploding barrels, and I believe that he said that later on, like the wooden tikis will have a bubble under them. Obviously the thunder tikis are gone because he's using the TNT barrels.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wonder.
And I don't think the thunder tikis were in Cosmic Shake either, were they?
Ooh.
I know the flying tikis were, but they weren't utilized very much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a different level later on. I think this is the
anyway.
second level, question mark. That parrot is like very potty. Potty the parrot.
I will just say it, the person playing this game sucks. No disrespect, Game Riot, but
It's probably just some random gaming journalist. See, that's the thing, is gaming journalists, they've never understood these games.
there's nothing to understand. I don't get it.
Well, I remember when Rehydrated came out, IGN said something on someone from IGN on their Nintendo podcast said something about like it has all the same problems that the original did, blah 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 blah. It doesn't really fix anything. And I remember thinking like, what do you mean by that exactly? What problems are we talking about? Because I mean, every game has problems, but it's like outsiders look at this game and are like, I don't know what they would want to be fixed. I don't see what needed to be changed.
They literally never expand on the argument, on the discussion.
Not with
like
not with that one.
There is no justification for the lower score other than the fact that it is a licensed game, and there's a general smugness towards anything to do with it that just doesn't appear.
I don't
otherwise.
understand what makes it less quality, because like, I mean, the platforming isn't horrible. Like I've heard more positive things about the new Bubsy game than I've ever heard about a SpongeBob platformer.
And yeah, we've talked about the whole weight class argument before, but like even then, there are different weight classes of shooters and horror games and stuff like that. Like Alan Wake, my favorite game of all time, Alan Wake 2. It's a different weight class. It's a lower weight class than the Resident Evil games. The new Resident Evil games have way more enemies, way more guns, way more areas, way more expansive, way longer, and all that type of stuff. But you know, people are able to look past that. The reviewers were able to look past that for Alan Wake 2 because it's got a better story and it's got some other elements there that like kind of help it with that. But gameplay-wise, it's way inferior. It's a different weight class. It's a AA weight class compared to the AAA Resident Evils, and it's still got 10 out of 10s. They're able to look past that stuff.
I don't even know what we're comparing it to. Like anything compared to like a Mario 3D platformer is going to fall short. I would say, like as far as the platforming goes, at least in the original games, and I would say especially in this new game, it looks like it's as good, if not better, than anything Sonic has ever had to offer as far as the 3D platformer goes. Maybe not like Frontiers. I haven't played Frontiers, so I don't know, but it's like
absolutely better than Frontiers.
I don't know what we're measuring it against to say that it has all the same problems or whatever.
Also, sorry, I've played the Mario 3D platformers. I've played 64. I've played Sunshine. I've played Odyssey. I've played I've played Galaxy. I've played Galaxy 2. They're fine. They're good games. They're good games. There's
a certain level of
lots of cool creative stuff. And yeah, they've got a level of polish to them. But I wouldn't consider them quadruple A 2025 experiences. Any of like even Odyssey at its
I don't
time,
think
it was like
I don't think anyone would say that. I don't think that was the argument at the time. This was back in 2020, but
yeah, but it's like they are in their nature just platformers, and there's a limit to that. Like there's only so like.
I would argue they are the platformers in my opinion.
I would argue any platform. Like I would argue the stuff we were seeing in Cosmic Shake. It had better combat than anything that's ever been in a Mario game, because once again, that's not what Mario's focus is. I would say a lot of the levels I find more interesting than a lot of the levels in Odyssey. Odyssey had some amazing levels, but there were some levels in there, like the one where we got crash landed with Cappy. Like the ship crash landed, and I lost Cappy for the like duration of the level, and the one with the hot and cold, the food one as well. Like those ones, I was like, can I just get the out of here and go back to the cool levels?
Yeah, I just felt like that about Odyssey in general. I think we feel differently about Mario, but
I feel differently about Nintendo as a whole. Like,
yeah.
Everyone talks so much up about Legend of Zelda. Every single Legend of Zelda, I feel, has been, at least the most recent ones, since Breath of the Wild, I feel has been a 7 out of 10 at best. It is so much more rough. The controlling of them is so much more rough. The inputs of them are rough. Movement's rough. Especially in Tears of the Kingdom, I hated the building stuff.
Do we want to have an extra... okay, so do we want to have an extra long episode? The reason I say this is because this topic was... You mentioned to me when we were planning for episodes that we would do show and tell. The reason I'm holding these here is I have a whole Nintendo rant to go on, and it feels like we're already getting onto it. So
I will say... I really like Nintendo, and I do not go on the bandwagon of all the hate that Nintendo consistently gets, especially nowadays. I love the Switch too. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you want to pick issues with them, you can pick issues. You can find issues of all those things.
Oh, I have issues.
And you can be a little nitpicker about anything. I do not understand why SpongeBob gets it so much rougher, and then these Nintendo games, which people are very happy to like complain about and moan about, but then they always get a 10 out of 10. It's like, get out of here.
So my show and tell for the week was going to be, so there was a Nintendo Direct where they kind of stitched 2 directs together. The entire beginning was Mario's 40th anniversary. And for Mario's 40th anniversary, they are releasing a double pack. In fact, we talked about it in, I don't remember if it was in the Lost episode or in the episode you released. Or maybe it was in our live stream, actually.
Live stream, that's it. Live stream, yes.
We talked about how there was rumors that they were going to be releasing Galaxy 2. And then you mentioned, you were like, well, why not Galaxy 1? And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Maybe they'll do a double pack. Turns out you were right, even though that wasn't really what you were necessarily saying. They're re-releasing both Mario Galaxy games together, and they are making updates. They're making updates to the textures. The weird thing is, it's like, this already existed, and then they stopped selling this, which was weird. But at least they're updating the game, making it higher quality for Switch 2 specifically. They are adding storybook content to the Rosalina stuff. I don't know that you particularly cared about Rosalina's story, but Rosalina is probably my favorite Mario character.
Rosalina isn't in the second game, is she?
She makes a cameo at the end, but now
I played more of 2. I played way more of 2, so I never really...
Well, apparently, they are making an entirely new version of the storybook to put into 2. So they're expanding the Rosalina lore in this new version, which is cool, but on most days, you ask me what my favorite game of all time is, and this is a conversation that I would like to have someday with you, like what would you consider your favorite game of all time? Most days I would probably say the original Mario Galaxy. Not necessarily like the most nostalgic game, although I do have a lot of nostalgia for it. I just think it's like just one of the best games I've ever played. But I already have it.
I think I would agree. I think I'd agree. I think either Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2 I think is probably peak Mario platformer.
So I already have Mario Galaxy, which is my favorite of the 2. I was interested in playing Galaxy 2 again. Personally, I don't like it as much, but I was excited for the stuff. They revealed these new amiibo that is like a 3D figure of like the cover, like this Mario here, and a new Rosalina amiibo of her like reading her storybook to the Lumas. Both look so good, and I feel like I need to have them. But at least here in America, $40 each.
Ooh.
for an amiibo. And apparently,
What's the normal price for them? Like
when
$20?
I bought this, I don't know what. There is no normal price for amiibo anymore. When they first released, all the amiibo I ever bought were back in the day $13 max.
$13, yeah. For us here in Australia, I think they were like $15 to $20.
But nowadays, they're all insanely overpriced. Part of that here is supposedly the tariffs that we have going on over here, specifically with the amiibo, because that's something that they feel that they can raise the price on without cutting into their bottom line or whatever. But it makes them way less likely to be purchased, even though I desperately want the new Galaxy ones. Because again, favorite game of all time, I feel like I have to collect them. $40 for an amiibo is hard to digest, because, I mean, like...
Yeah.
Buying both of those, that's the price of Mario Kart. But apparently in other regions, like in the UK, they're significantly less expensive. So it is definitely like an American specific thing.
Let me see if they're available here. They're $44 here, so
So if they're 44
they're about $30
Australian,
for you.
yeah, like that's still
cheaper.
Still expensive, but significantly less expensive.
They're about, so there's the brand new Samus one is $15 cheaper. There's another one that's everything else is about $20 cheaper.
And these are apparently like bigger amiibo. They're probably like more the size of like this Funko Pop, maybe, but it's still not. That's tough. The other thing that really upset, like I'm very upset with Nintendo right now, because it's like they reveal this Mario Galaxy dual pack, $70 for the double pack, or you can buy them separately digitally for $40 each. I paid $60 for this back in the day, which is a significantly, I would say, larger package. 3 games. As opposed to 2 that are largely, like, they have different content, but they're largely the same experience.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, I would, not for the 2 of them, but, you know, Sunshine is fairly comparable to Galaxy in scope and content. 64 is, you know, obviously it's a 64 game. But
I haven't really played through Sunshine. It's not as widely beloved, I would say.
No, it's got some roughness. It's a bit rough.
I get that they're selling it again because, you know, they stopped selling this one, but they've upped the price significantly to a point where I don't feel like it's justifiable for most people. I'm probably going to end up getting it because it's a new version of my favorite game of all time. So it's like that thing where you said, you know, the people complain and moan and they still end up buying it at the end of the day. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, but then look at me. Like I'm more on the kind of casual Nintendo fan. I love Pokemon X and Y. I'm probably not going to get Z to A because it's $90, and that's a lot of money when Pokemon has consistently proved itself to not be trustworthy.
That's the problem. Is like I'm excited for that game, but I'm also like also not excited at the same time because, like you said, they've kind of proven, especially in the Switch generation, that the games aren't great. And the first Legends game was pretty good, but other than
Legends Arceus was good. Sword and Shield, they should be paying me to go through that game. But like, I love Donkey Kong 64. I haven't bought Bonanza. It's just so expensive.
Yeah,
and it's
everything's
just that
so expensive, and it feels like Nintendo is the ones making everything more expensive.
There was
because they think they're better than everyone else.
Well, there was a stage of early Switch, and throughout the majority of the Switch life cycle, where Nintendo was trying really hard to kind of prove themselves and to re-ingratiate themselves with everybody, and they were doing things for the sake of rebuilding its reputation. Right. And now it's exploiting that. That's the feeling I get.
They are under new leadership as well. I mean, they were for at least half of the Nintendo Switch generation, if not more as well, but all of the Switch stuff was set in motion by former leadership. So now this is the first generation being launched by new people. You know, Reggie, Iwata, to a degree like Miyamoto or Koizumi. This is the first generation without Iwata. I mean, Iwata died before the Switch launched, but he
was
did all
responsible for the development, pre-launch. Like, he was the person that set like that stuff in motion of trying to fix what they got wrong with the Wii U. From what I know. I'm not.
So I don't know. I don't know if that plays into it, but I'm just so frustrated with the pricing, and also like they're not releasing anything in the next Like, that Direct felt like a waste of my time. The Galaxy stuff was cool, but then it ended up pissing me off because afterwards prices were bad. It was the same thing with the Reveal Direct, where they revealed like Bonanza and the Switch 2 and all that. It's like, it was really cool until I found out Mario Kart World was $80. And it's like, I'm not excited about Nintendo anymore. And it's really
It takes all of the experimentation out. Like, I've been wanting to play Kirby and the Forgotten Lands for ages. It is $110 here in Australia to get it for Switch 2. Donkey Kong
because
Bonanza, $110.
they added extra content, so you have to get the dual pack or whatever.
But Donkey Kong Bonanza, $110. I've always been interested in trying a Metroid game. I'm not for $110 for Metroid Prime 4.
I wouldn't start with Prime 4 either personally, but I don't really love the Prime games. I'm more of a 2D Metroid fan myself. But
Borderlands 4 is $120 on Switch.
Yeah, sounds about right. So I'm not excited for anything. Like, of anything that they've revealed that's upcoming, I only care about like Tomodachi Life, and that's a Switch 1 game. And it's a pretty, like, it's going to be a smaller scale title. I feel like I wasted my money with my Switch 2. Like, I didn't, because it's probably going to be more expensive by the time I would have bought it. I don't know why I own this thing, because anything that I'm playing right now, I could play on other things. It largely has just sat on my desk. I've barely touched it. Recently, I started using it more, but it's like, I paid for it, and then 100 days later, I have very little to show for it. And they haven't revealed anything that I'm excited for, except for a overpriced dual pack of games that I already own twice over. So I
haven't played it since me and my wife played Mario Kart World 3 times, and neither of us have used the Switch since. I get them because the Switch has a big collection, and always does, of JRPGs, and always has that type of stuff. And that's the type of stuff that, you know, when a game is hundreds of hours, I can kind of justify a bit more, being like, well, I can play this wherever. I'm not as tied to literally sitting on the couch for hundreds of hours. That's the only justification. And they're releasing Persona 3 on it. But once again, it's $120, and I already own it. I'm not buying
realistically,
that again,
when
price.
they revealed it, Mario Kart looked cool, but then they revealed the price. Bonanza looked cool. I didn't really care. I didn't buy the Switch for any of the games that the Switch 2 for any of the games that they showed off. I bought it kind of for the promise of the future, and so far, the promise of the future, at least in the next 6 months, doesn't look appealing to me at all.
I mean, I bought it for the hope of, you know, some remakes of or remasters of Zelda games and that type of stuff. But as you're saying though, when they release these new when they release the remaster of Zelda Twilight Princess, whenever they do that, is that going to be $100 here? Is that going to be super duper overpriced and stupid? And I'm going to be like, what's the point? Why would I buy that?
If they do, it will absolutely be. I mean, the problem is the new standard is $70 here, which is however much for you there. If they release it, they'll probably release it with Wind Waker, and it will be a full $70. That is what I've learned from this.
Yeah, or buy them individually, digitally for $40 each.
Right, which is just, that's insane.
And it's a limited release.
That was a full-priced freaking 3DS game back in the day. I felt like complaining a little bit because I've been thinking about this a lot. And it's like you said, it's like you can go, but the Switch library is so vast, and that's basically what I've been doing is I've been going back and just replaying things that I never got around to. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom lately. It finally clicked for me again, and I've been going back through it, and I'm enjoying it. I still think Breath of the Wild is the better game personally.
Breath of the Wild is far better. But, yeah,
I at least have been enjoying my time with it. I want to get through it. I've been there's another Hyrule Warriors game they're doing. I've been avoiding those trailers during directs because I'm worried it's gonna like spoil story elements.
They bring in so much of those. But here's a question for you. There was a recent announcement, like one of the slop YouTubers who I follow, I think Dolan Darker, talked about it. The most played game of all time now is a brain rot Roblox game about going around and finding like brain.
I don't know if it's the
stuff.
most played game, but I know what you're talking about.
25 million players at all time. The highest recorded on PC is 3 million.
Okay, well, yeah, like viewer, like I thought you meant like duration
concurrent players of all time was that one. Do you think the barrier to entry for video games is getting so high that kids aren't actually going to be playing these games?
Oh, it already
video
is.
Video
that
games
is
are not
already-
for kids anymore.
I think that's already the case. You look at kids; they're playing Fortnite. They're playing the free to play stuff. They want an MetaQuest to play freaking Gorilla Tag and VR Roblox. The VR space is overrun with children, and all they play is the free stuff or the stuff that they see on YouTube that looks really cool, but realistically is not high quality at all. They do not care about high quality. Like the games that are being made by Nintendo right now, I would argue they're more for adults. That's another thing that really pissed me off was they revealed they're adding Virtual Boy to Nintendo Switch Online, but to play it, you have to buy $100 physical Virtual Boy headset
Right.
that you stick your Switch inside of and turn it into a Virtual Boy, and you have to play it that way. They do not let you play it flat, even though those games are all playable flat. You can buy a cardboard version for $25, but I don't want to do that. That was already a controversy back in the day where they did Labo and everyone was like, you're making us pay for cardboard, blah, blah, blah. And I was a Labo defender back in the day, but I'm not defending this. I should be able to play those games flat. I've already bought the $500 console and pay for your subscription service yearly for like $60 a year. I shouldn't have to buy another $100 accessory to play a library of 14 games that nobody liked back when they released.
Well, here's the question with that as well. Is like, you know, we talk about these new Nickelodeon games that we're so excited for. I have it put up here for Nintendo Switch 2. Costs $70 here in Australia to get Titans of the Tide. Literally like half the price of another Switch game. Do you think it's any better for the? Like, do you think like? Are there going to be kids that are going to like? That's the thing I've always talked about and always been so happy about. Is just like, and that's why I talked about Cosmic Shake. I was like, I am so incredibly happy that for some kid, this is going to be their movie game.
I think there are kids out there. I mean, I know kids that watch my channel that almost certainly they will want Titans of the Tide or these other Nickelodeon games, but they're kind of the outliers. I don't know. I think more and more, especially on the Nintendo front, not just kids, but everyone is being priced out of the hobby. The prices of it are going so high, and the price of rent and food and everything's going so high. A lot of people can't justify games. I'm the only person besides you, who lives on the other side of the world, I'm the only person I know that owns a Switch 2. My cousins, who I play Nintendo games with a lot, I played with them growing up with them. It's like my fondest memories are playing with them. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to play with them on like Switch 2 stuff. Like, I don't know if I'll ever get to play GameCube stuff with them because
it's never going.
They have families
it's never going to go
and can't
down in price. It's never going to go down.
And that's the thing; it's not going down in price; it's going up in price. So I don't know that they're ever going to be able to justify buying a Switch 2, because I don't know that they're ever going to be doing well enough to do so. I only was able to because I am not married; I don't have children.
You've got the expendable income.
My rent is very minimal, and at the time I had very expendable income. Now I can't buy anything because I don't have a job, so I can't splurge on anything. But
I think it's different for me as well because me and my wife share the same hobbies. When the Switch 2 gets announced, Danae's like, "Oh, of course we're going to get that."
Yeah.
Like, but if you have a wife or a partner that doesn't have an interest in video games or same hobbies, then the expendable income is shrunk even further. Like Danae's Christmas present is I'm getting her a new motherboard because her current PC, her motherboard can't run her fans properly, and it irritates her to no end. She can't have the RGB exactly as she wants for her fans. It has to be this specific color.
I thought you were talking about they run like crazy because my laptop sounds like a jet engine over there in the corner.
Oh,
and
it does that too. Yeah.
I really need a new computer, but I don't know when I'll ever be able to afford one. Because that's
you chose a Switch 2 instead.
I did.
The PC used to be. That was the area that was like, oh, everyone's priced out of that unless you're buying, because that was, when a 2080 was $1,000, and you're like, oh my gosh, who the can afford this? And now a basic PlayStation 5 without the disc drive is $1,000.
And I think the problem is they think they think it's justifiable.
For what, 20% increase in quality over PlayStation 4 Pro?
They think they're presenting the same experience as those high-end things, and so they think it's justifiable that they can be as expensive. But console gaming was never really that back in the day. Console was supposed to be the budget option.
Dude, Double A is going to have a comeback. That's what I think these Nickelodeon games are. And that's why I'm so interested in them. These $30,
I think it has
$40
to.
games. That's what it is.
The AAA space, and we've talked about it before on the show, or I think we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
There's going to be some kind of like the AAA space is going to crash. I mean, it's already crashed to me in a way. So many things are getting canceled. So many studios are being closed. So many people are being fired. Like, we are in the midst of a crash.
Yeah. I buy 3 or 4 new games a year. At the end of the PlayStation 4 generation, early PlayStation 5, I was buying a game a month, like a brand new.
Yeah, right. I want
to
buy all these new releases, but I can't justify it with these prices. Not when I want
the new Mafia game. I should have played that. But
not when I'm desperately wanting $40 amiibo that I would have to sell a kidney to buy. They also revealed a physical version of Rosalinda's storybook and a physical toy of that Mario Wonder Flower. I don't want the Wonder Flower, but it's like they're releasing all this stuff for outrageous prices.
It's just the experimentation leaves the consumer. Like I wouldn't be against trying the new Battlefield 6. I haven't played a Battlefield game since Battlefield 4. It's just for those.
That's the thing is, I'm not going to pay full price for that. That's one thing.
And if you don't pay full price, you miss out on the day, like the first few months of experience when the game is bussin' and you can play any game mode you want at any time you want. If you don't play in the first 6 months, then you're only stuck on playing the one game mode that people still play.
Yeah, for multiplayer games.
You miss out on the full multiplayer experience.
The last time I bought a full price multiplayer game was Black Ops 4, and I regretted it at the time.
I could probably understand why. Black Ops 4.
It was all right, but it didn't have any single player content. That was like, I think the one where
didn't
like,
it?
we're not even gonna do single player.
Sorry, I was thinking of Black Ops 3 that was just shit.
Yeah. Ubisoft just released the Switch 2 version of Star Wars Outlaws, which turned out to actually be pretty good, apparently. Like it's a high quality port, and it's like people have their problems with the game, but they still think that the port is impressive, and I would like to get it. But it's $70, and I'm like, it's Ubisoft. I'll wait until around Christmas time and get it for at least half off, if not more.
And this is bringing into that discussion of like how Silksong is like $20. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is like $40 for you guys.
The games
in America.
people are going crazy for.
The two potential Game of the Year games are under $50.
I think Bonanza is also in that conversation, but you're right. Like the games that most people go crazy for are the cheapo games.
With how much people hate Nintendo at the moment, I really don't know its voting power wise for Game of the Year stuff.
I don't know.
Unless things improve towards the end of the year.
I mean, the game itself is just super high quality. I don't know if the other stuff plays into it. I just know a lot of people have talked about how it's their Game of the Year. So I don't know.
Well, like, if Borderlands 4 comes out and is amazing, the amount people hate Gearbox, and especially the CEO, would play into consideration.
Well, it came out the other day, and that's why people are mad at him again, because he started saying stupid crap on Twitter again. After the game released, because people were complaining about the performance on PC, which is a common problem. Performance on PC has just been bad for a lot of games, and he's like telling people they don't know what they're talking about. Why don't you make a game if you're so good at it? Basically, the world of gaming in the AA space, in the Nickelodeon space, is exciting. The world of gaming in the Nintendo space, which used to be my favorite space. Like I wanted to make a whole second channel about it. I have no desire to do that anymore. It's very disappointing. The future of gaming looks both exciting and bleak. That's the moral of today's podcast episode.
More SpongeBob games, and we'll be good. Take that, Mario. No one's buying your. Well, everyone will buy your 120.
I'm gonna break my Switch 2 in half live on air. No.
Ah, I see. My neighbour's having an inspection. Scary. A real estate car pulled up like a while ago. I was like, what's he inspecting?
It's really weird that you're spying on your neighbors.
No, I'm spying on the street because there's a car that pulled up.
He's like looking in their window, like, "Hey, what is my neighbor doing?" Oh,
I wouldn't have put. I wouldn't have put those curtains up. Very ugly. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in on this this episode. Good discussion. Good fun.
Channel membership. We have more members now. The Discord is starting to have some actual life to it. So if you want to communicate with like-minded Nickelodeon fans such as yourself, or if you want to talk to me and Chester and
See my dank memes.
see Chester's dank memes, I've been posting some dank memes over there as well. And as we do future investigations, you'll be credited and also maybe have some special input. So, and it's $2, you said? American?
Yeah, $2 American.
$2 American to talk to me and Chester and our friends and get involved in our videos and just to have a good old time.
Good time. I remember
Join the membership.
Smash that subscribe button. We're on our way to where are we at?
Close to
1.5. Yeah, 1,500. I reckon we can get to 2,000 by the end of the year. Easy.
That's the new challenge. We're okay. Road to 2,000 before Christmas time, you guys.
Before Christmas.
Before the end of the season 1.
Yeah, before the end of season 1. That's the goal. We'll get you a Christmas present if you do. I'm gonna put a fake tree up in the background and everything for the
Bottle flip.
It landed on the cat.
Definitely did not knock everything over.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Dab 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 dab.
Oh, I'm dizzy.
Danny Phantom showing how to be strong. Courage making fears up on my mind gone. Parents saying television does harm. I say, where's the heart? Oh, where's the heart? Oh, where's the heart?
No, where is the Jewish representation?